day of food. I ain't ashamed to admit it.
Getting my PhD in Jersey.
I won't do that again.
Let's watch that one more time.
I voted for my own job loss. Like a day of food. I ain't ashamed to admit it.
Getting my PhD in Jersey.
I won't do that again.
He said, I voted for my own job loss, and I will not be doing that again. I guess he won't be voting for Republicans anymore. We tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all. We did. Well, at least he's not ashamed to admit it.
$4.2 million. I want you to remember that number. $4.2 million. Republicans are now trying to undo the madness because they're realizing that they have consolidated too much power in the executive branch. They gave him wide sweeping power that no other president has ever had. Right? So the country's on fire, the stock market is crashing, and the bodies of servicemen who were killed in a training exercise are returning to Dover Air Force Base. And do we know where Syphilitic Sidney is right now? He's golfing. That's right. Golfing. $4.2 million is what it cost us taxpayers every time he goes golfing. But what makes today really interesting is there was an issue, so he couldn't land in Palm Beach with Air Force One. So they had to land at Miami International. And then, instead of driving in the motorcade, which is only an hour and a half drive, give or take, from Miami to West Palm Beach, he flew in Marine One. Because he didn't want to be bothered with traffic. But we're all supposed to believe that they're all about cutting fraud and waste. He's the biggest fraud and the biggest piece of waste that there is. But I digress. But yet, we are literally on the verge of destruction. And he's golfing. And MAGA got nothing to say. They lost their minds because Obama wore a tan suit. But they got no problem with him burning down the country. Well, some of them do, I guess. The ones that are now coming out and saying, oh no, we didn't think the tariffs, no, we didn't know, oh my God. That part. Anyway, that's it.
Do you remember when Trump said this? A lot of MAGA is pissed because their retirement, poof, gone overnight. And they're saying they regretted voting for him because now they can't retire. Or if they run businesses, they're toast. Don't worry though, you can just tell them that he's playing 5D chess. They'll get all that money back. Even if they're 80 years old and they need that pension to live. Hopefully we'll get those Doge checks we were promised so soon, right?
So right now on my Facebook, there's a lot of people freaking out, both in like a group I belong to of like mothers helping mothers, and also just Facebook mutuals that I have, I guess. Because I wouldn't consider them friends, freaking out because right now, I guess Head Start's closing next week and people are losing their daycare, and somebody's posting, what am I going to do? I don't have childcare. I work so many hours. I need this, what am I going to do during these hours? Also, somebody I know was like, my mother works for Head Start. This is the money that she uses to pay her bills and her mortgage. What is she supposed to do for a living? And I seriously just was like, you know what? This is a direct result of people's votes. This is a direct result of the administration that people voted for, who does not care for funding social programs that help single mothers, working families, that does not support funding for education that includes early Head Start and Head Start and preschool education. So and I was frank. And this may sound crude, but I have zero empathy for those people right now. And here's why. A lot of the people who voted for Trump voted for him because of their hate and bigotry towards other people who happen to look like me. They don't regret their votes. I mean, look at that guy who's losing his farm and he says he'd vote for him all over again. And those that do only regret their votes because it's affecting them. They voted to take away the rights. They voted to hurt other people, marginalized communities, people of color, trans, LGBTQ people. And until they are affected, they do not regret their vote. And they don't regret their vote because, you know, they're compassionate, empathetic people, and they truly have a change of heart. They regret their vote because it finally affects them. It's hurting them. It's going to hurt their pocket. It's going to affect their family dynamics. They're not going to have money for food. They may not have health insurance. They may lose their child care. They may no longer have free lunch programs for their kids. Their food pantries aren't going to be filled anymore. The WIC and federal programs that are getting slashed and cut. So it's hard to have empathy for people who don't have empathy for other people. And sadly, that's just the truth. It's also one reason why I've decided to no longer interact with people who were Trump supporters. Last time he was president, I still kept certain small amount of people that were Trump supporters in my life because I loved them dearly. But then I had this realization that they don't really care about me or my family, or they wouldn't have voted the way they did. So, or for my people at all. And so there's that. I choose to have a small circle of people and surround myself with people who have like-minded values and beliefs, who believe in empathy and compassion and equality and justice, and who want other people to succeed. I want to surround myself with positive people who encourage me and uplift me, and who I can encourage and uplift and motivate as well, and motivate me. That's the type of person I want to be. And so surrounding myself with people like that really drains me of my empathy and my compassion. And so for my own mental well-being and health and emotional well-being, that means I've had to cut people out of my life. So that's where we're at right now. And it's the sad truth that we're living in right now. And it's truly hard to have compassion for people that don't have compassion and empathy for other people.
It's April 2025. The stock market is in a tailspin. And for some Americans, the dream of a peaceful retirement is slipping further away with each tick of the trading clock. One user, at Florida Conserve One, wrote, "Stock market going down, losing my retirement. I voted for you and it was a big mistake. Simple, direct, painfully honest." Rob Albright echoed that frustration. "Thanks for messing up everybody's retirement," he said, tagging the former president. "You messed up our life savings. Ruined a weekend of basketball. Some of us don't have time to wait for a recovery. And I voted for you. Fix it. This wasn't just about dollars and cents. This was about broken trust." Greg, another user, was even more emotional. "I voted for you, but midterms are flying out the door. Your actions destroy our hopes to retire anytime soon. For God's sake, why decimate everything at once? It took 3 months to destroy what took years to build." And finally, Tom Gladden summed up his disappointment with biting clarity. "I voted for you. Stock market is in free fall again today. My retirement savings are crushed because of your policies. Golden age? My butt." These posts aren't just tweets. They're digital cries for help from people who believed in a promise and now feel betrayed by the reality. The question that lingers in the air: what happens when hope meets harsh economic consequences? And more importantly, will they still believe next time?